So guys, if the judiciary should uphold this 2023 presidential election, then our democracy is finished. It means we don't have any democracy anymore, because we know democracy is built on electoral process.
If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The foundation of every democracy is the election or the electoral process. And if it is fraught with irregularity, it becomes an inherent problem for democracy. And that is why we are here today, to see to how to further defend, or in the case of protect Nigerian democracy from threats and manipulations. And that is the point we are making here. And that is why this is a very sound initiative for citizens to rise in defense of democracy. Otherwise, they will go to extinction. They will go to an annihilation when they lose their voices. It is so we are creating a pathway as labor and civil society front and as COPDEM here for people's voice to be heard, to take back their power, to be in perpetual control of their sovereignty and their power. And we cannot keep quiet in the face of oppression and tyranny. It means the man dies in us. That's what they show you that. So great Nigerian people, mine is to challenge you and to arouse your passion for your right to life. You must live. They must allow you to live. The fact that you give power to certain people to run your life through your constitution does not mean that you must die. What we have done in essence in election is to say, look, we all cannot have time to be running our collective affair. We want to choose A, B, C, D, 19 people to help us focus full-time on that. We will pay them through our taxes and through our collective wealth. That's what we have done. And that should not become our debt. It's not a crime to do that. People today, amass the power of the people, circumvent that power, and then begin to live large. You see the kind of opulence you see in government. You see the convoy. You see the kind of threat people are one government arm against the other. That if you judiciary, who is supposed to be the highest, in terms of arbitration in people's life or matters, if you overturn my election, there will be chaos. That's a threat. You don't threaten the judiciary. That's an assault on democracy. That's an assault on the power of the people, the sovereign power of the people who have elected to go by democracy. In what we call constitutional democracy. What we run in Nigeria, first and foremost, is constitutional democracy. That is a democracy guided by a constitution approved by the Nigerian people. But the foundation is faulty. And we have, in the last 30 years, some of us has advocated that we must do something about the constitutional foundation of Nigeria. It is faulty. Nothing will thrive in Nigeria. No government, no governance under the present constitutional arrangement as imposed by the military in 1999 can thrive. There will always be corruption, there will be fraud, there will be all sorts of things, because the foundation of the constitution of Nigeria is faulty. How do you have a faultless constitution? The Nigerian people in their various constituencies must elect representatives to a constituent assembly. The constituent assembly is the one vested with the power to produce a constitution for the country. Not what we saw in 1998 under Abdul Salami Abubakar, foisting a military constitution on Nigeria, through decree number 24 of 1998. That cannot be a constitution. I am an authority on constitution making. And I've worked with people like Chief Tony and now of blessed memory, Professor Ben Nwabuzi, on this matter. And we have come to the conclusion that what we have as Nigeria 1999 is a joke. It's a decree. And you don't decree a constitution. You don't decree a constitution. It is proclaimed by the people. Even the American Constitution 1776, though it was 13 colonies or whatever, it was proclaimed by the people. The nearest to what should be a constitution in Nigeria was the 1989 constitution under Babangida. But Babangida himself spoiled it. The process was perfect, was flawless. Zero candidate, zero party election, etc., to the constituent assembly, and so on and so forth. Because we must be educated about it, what we are having in Nigeria. zero party election. People went into the Constituent Assembly, elected into the Constituent Assembly in Nigeria, and they debated. But Babangida spoiled it when the Armed Forces Ruling Council again tinkered with the outcome of that constitution. No constitution. When the people proclaim, that assembly proclaim, no government has the right to manipulate or to amend what the people have come up with. That is when it is a constitution of the people. So the Nigerian people are lacking the constitution of the people today, and everything built on that constitution will be faulty. No amount of prayer and fasting can save you. We will have to go back to the constitution, which is the foundation of Nigeria, because it is written, if the foundation be faulty or destroyed, what can the righteous do? So the righteousness that we want in election must be traced to our constitution. But it's not enough for people to now do bravado with impunity and rig election. It is not. At least that's about human person, human dignity, and so on and so forth. So, but it is also the right of Nigerians to be vigilant, as we are trying to do today. Because eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Amen? Abi? Eternal vigilance, that is organizing forum like this, organizing ourselves as citizens, is what can ensure our liberty and protection of democracy. What we did yesterday by marching and demonstrating our disappointment, dissatisfaction with government and anti-poor policy is the vigilance that is required of Nigerian citizens. We mustn't be docile. We go out. And protest is a constitutional right of Nigerian citizens. It is enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. You have right to association and right to dissent. Do it peacefully. We do not need any IG to be telling us about we will not tolerate any violence. You can say all of that. But responsible organization like the labor movement, labor civil society coalition, will lead people out from time to time to express their dissatisfaction and rejection of government and the people's policy. And that is what we are beginning to do. We are beginning to see. You will begin to see that from now on, periodically. And we have been assured by the labor movement. The NLC president, after his meeting now, may join us here. May join us at this point, because it's meeting now. And in the next maybe 30 minutes, she'll join us really to speak to us. So it is the duty of us to go and preach the gospel. Don't just go to your neighborhood and tell Iyas Salamos and Baba Muni that you go, except we speak out of this outrageous, arbitrary increase in price of petrol will continue. If we go to 1,000, except you say no and come out and say no. It is your right to come and say no. No police will shoot you because they also, patronize the same market. Yesterday we told them at the National Assembly. We said, but they buy the same fuel for 617. They laughed. They said they want to. They laughed. So this is the duty of this organization and this coalition and this alliance. It's an alliance. We must charge our community. We must go to our locality. We must do what is right so that we can ensure our welfare. We are not doing this for any other purpose, but for ourselves. If you know you don't want to be hungry, you must be ready to stand. You must be ready to rise if you don't want to be hungry. Otherwise, we are being pushed to penury by those who wallow in our own wealth. They use about 200 cars as convoy. They don't feel it. They don't feel the pain. How could anybody come and tell us that I feel your pain? When he has 200, he's not paying fuel, anything. Everything is paid by state resources. And say, I feel your pain. Yes, it's mocking us. I feel, which pain? Me, I used for the 2 days. I looked up, I said, now so this thing will go. The fuel that I buy at 15,000, full tank, now about 60,000, and I use it for 1 day or 2 days. How do I sustain that? It means I must join those who want to say no to oppression, no to tyranny. I must be there. I must be there, and that is what we stand for. I expect organizers henceforth must do outreach, must mobilize effectively. We must do outreach and mobilize effectively. You don't need to pay people to attend programs like this because it's in their interest. Except those who want to die. Because people are dying instrumentally these days. You just see somebody, you say this one don't die. A guy yesterday were driving. He was thinking and entering into the road. We almost knocked him down. So many hypertension everywhere. People cannot eat. People go to church. They can't listen to sermon. They are thinking, how do I feed my family? These are the issues. People must rise. People must rise so that Nigeria can rise up again. People must ask questions. People must, on social media, write, but come out to demonstrate. It is constitutional right. Any police court dealing with protesters has violated the Constitution of Nigeria, an African Charter of Human Rights. It's a violation and can be sued. The police institution can be taken to court for violating your right. It is your right, it's your right, and it is constitutionally enshrined. So don't let anybody intimidate you. Well, the struggle started yesterday. It will continue. Take it from me. I'm speaking for the labor and civil society coalition. Until government revert back to status quo ante, or deal with what you call compressed natural gas. And again, the judiciary does what is right. Because Nigerians are looking at the judiciary to see that if they will be above board. And Nigerians are praying. They are praying for them. They are watching. They are vigilant. We don't want this country to go into chaos for a military intervention. We don't want this country. Tell them that we don't want Nigeria to go into chaos, sudden chaos, over the matter at the tribunal or at the court. Therefore, the judiciary must save the country. They must do what is right now and make sure that the people are happy with them. All eyes are on the judiciary, and all eyes are also on the government on these policies that are being shown out as if it is vengeful against the people. I don't know whether it's a vengeance. Suddenly you throw up more than 200% increase in fuel price, and you say you fill the plane, and you are not buying a pint of petrol or a liter. You don't pay. Everything you do is paid for by state resources. And then you say you feel my pain. You can never feel my pain. So the protest is ongoing, and it will be ongoing until the right thing is done. You are free in your community to gather 10 people, carry your placards, call media there, they will take it. Call 20 people in your corner, they will take it. In your state, you are free. That is the directive we have given to the labor and civil society front. Sporadically, as they deem fit, they rise. It doesn't have to be uniform like yesterday. They rise to express their demand, their request of government. That is when citizens are demonstrating the power, that the power of governance and government belongs to them. Nobody is in government by itself. It relies on the vote of the people to be in government. Therefore, you must do what the people want. If you are not doing what the people want, it logically means that you have not been elected by the people. That is the sound logic. The sound logic, if you are not doing, if you are in government and not doing the wish and aspiration and yearnings of the people, it then means clearly you have not been voted for. Then you are by yourself, wangle yourself into power, and then you want to say, well, they do not matter. In any case, I bought my way to it. I bought my way. And that is what we are saying about pretender politics. It must change. Big man rule. We have the concept of big man. Anybody in Nigeria who becomes a councillor becomes an automatic rich person. Just councillor. Begin to build us, buy houses in Abuja. Just councillor. Somebody who was a organizer will make you councillor, and you turn to a big man, rich immediately. What kind of government or governance structure is that? We must change that. That is why some of our leaders, Chief Enaoro of blessed memory, Professor Mwabweze, Professor Wole, have said the parliamentary system through the Pronaco Constitution is the best for Nigeria. Parliamentary system of government. You come to represent your people, you go back. You don't come and sit in National Assembly and then be taking allowance 70 billion jeep and wardrobe allowance, and then the people cannot even feed. Those seated there do not know where to eat again. That is a threat to democracy. We must do something about it. We must do something. We must do something. Because this thing in West Africa is beginning to slide into military intervention. And we don't want it. If the people are pushed to the wall, we don't know what will happen. And we don't want to slide back. We fought for this democracy. We fought for it. We use our blood and life to fight for it. People joining us as campaign for democracy as Nademo. We fought. We fought against the military. They shot at us. We carried those who were shot because of democracy, to restore democracy. I was commander leading most of the field in southwest of that struggle against Abacha. First against Babangida, against Abacha. We fought with everything. We recruited so many people to it who are still standing. So we cannot watch and see it slide into anarchy or military rule again. And it's getting there. It's getting there. It is getting there. And I am warning, because all the signs are there. Government no longer.
So guys, we all must rise up. We must speak up. We must tell the judiciary to do the needful. We must tell them to rescue our democracy. We must tell them that they are the last hope for the common man in Nigeria. If this 2023 presidential election should be upheld, then our democracy is finished. Let me allow you listen to this man speak. So guys, if the judiciary should uphold this 2023 presidential election, then our democracy is finished. It means we don't have any democracy anymore, because we know democracy is built on electoral process.